that need for bypassing. And either you're going to take the materialist approach, you're going to hit the drugs, the alcohol, you're about to hit the clubs, or you're going to take the spiritual approach, which is where you do the mindfulness, you do the meditation, you do the psilocybin, you do the DMT, you do the out of this world trips, you do the psychic expansion techniques, you hit the manifestation techniques. You dig what I'm saying? You spend all your time in the church doing a whole bunch of praying, but not doing the things that God is actually asking for you to do. You spend your time in the mosque doing all of the rituals, doing all of the praying in all the directions, but not doing what Allah is actually asking for you to do. Or you spend your time in the synagogue or on the meditation in the Buddhist temple, uh, uh, cushion, a cushion in the Buddhist temple, in the Sangha. I really don't care what it is. I care if there's love in it. That's the difference. That's the difference. So we know our pattern. Now we need to know our path forward. We know that the fear is what's doing this automatic bypassing. We know that the fear is what's doing all this automatic bypassing. But the problem with the fear is that fear is so subtle, we often do not think about what we're actually afraid of. Yet we know we're one phone call from our knees, from being crying on the floor because something just went wrong, the unthinkable. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's not rational to be talking about there are no fears. More important to understand what those fears are, even the small ones. Remember last week, Super Mario Bro was like, he quit his six-figure business because he said that there were like these termites of lack. Right? Yeah, it was a six-figure business, but he could see that within it, he was there were all these little small micro fissures, all these little cracks, tiny, 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 tiny. But they were telling him that if he didn't keep traveling the world, other people would love to do this, but he don't really love to do it. But at least he's being envied. If he can't do what he loves, at least he can be envied for doing what somebody else thinks they would love. Mm. It's the same way with fear. Basically, that's what he was dealing with. But it's these small, tiny cracks. You would almost have to take a microscope up to your own mind to find these seeds of fear that are quietly steering your behavior. It's a constant process for me. The only path forward, before we actually even get to that, let me talk about with y'all in the chat. Okay, so yes, okay, we got the new year. Okay, King Wolf saying I need to hear this right now. Absolutely. LOL Cool J, is that Devontae right there? Mindfulness is the beginning, the door to knowing who you are. Find out who absolutely, absolutely. Mindfulness is the beginning, the door to knowing who you are. It's like, it's like, again, remembering that principle. I agree, mindfulness is essential, but we're looking for the sort of mindfulness that allows us to tap into who we actually are rather than looking for the sort of mindfulness that just allows us to distance ourselves from the discomfort of emotion so that we can get back to doing what somebody else said we should do rather than what God said. You dig what I'm saying? Or rather, what love says. If you don't like the word God, no problem. I use the word love. You don't like the word love? Okay, I'll use your true self. You don't like that? Then, hey, we'll use the universe. Whatever it is, we'll use nature itself. I don't care. Whatever the deep fabric of existence is, I want to be paying attention to that. That's the reason I'm here. Jeff Bezos got enough money. You know what I'm saying? Like his son got enough money. That's why I'm like, wait, what are we doing, kid? Like he said, get back to busting your knees up for 15 an hour. Bro, all right. I'm not hating on it either. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is, but it's like let it at least be what it is in clarity. Let it at least be what it is in clarity. Let it at least be what it is in clarity. Hey, LL Cool J, LOL Cool J. I like that. Is that Devontae right there? Put your name in the chat. I always like knowing the names in the chat so I can and I'm doing this thing where I don't know the teaching. I'm literally waiting for we're talking about love. I'm waiting for love to speak. You feel me? Like that's what all the pausing is for. Is I'm like the frequency is the teaching, you feel me? And maybe that's why the frequency is the signal. Maybe that's why the frequency. Okay. Here's the path forward. The path forward opens when we understand that the frequency is the signal. That the frequency is your signal. In other words, the mindfulness that we're talking about, it takes us to a higher level when we're allowing ourselves to be mindful of this divine eternal frequency, this voice of God speaking, this most immaculate feeling that I call love. You dig what I'm saying? The frequency, when I say frequency, I'm talking about the love frequency. This is your signal, which means I cannot know what I am to do until I am tapped in to the frequency. Why? Because the frequency is going to give me my signal. It's going to tell me my direction. It's going to tell me where I need to go. It's got all of that with it. It comes with it. It comes with it. So it's like our path forward is to remember that the frequency is the signal. The frequency, it carries the signal. It's got it for you. That's what's missing from these Amazon Zen stations. They're not paying attention to the fact that true mindfulness means turning all the way within, not just to the surface level of, oh, I got some annoying thoughts I want to distance myself from, I want to create space from so I can get back to doing what I was told, but rather, no, I'm going to turn attention inward. Yes, be open and aware for the thoughts that are emerging, but I want to listen for the frequency underneath all thoughts, the frequency underneath the silence that all thought arises out of. I want to pay attention for that because that's where my signal will be. That's where that signal will direct my next step. It'll tell me where to go. It'll say, hey, look, go up the stairs, third floor. It'll say, no, go for a walk. It'll say, actually, you need to get about this job. It'll say, you know what? There's something to do here. I'm not done here yet. I'm going to keep showing up. The signal. It's like we've got this level of spirituality that we're cool with as long as it gets people to kind of be pacified, as long as it gets people to have no ego and therefore no sense of direction that is certain. putting people back into this sort of state of tabula rasa, this sort of state of blank slate mind, there's a use for that. But ultimately, our responsibility here is to recognize that we are here to be a part of the frequency, to be a part of this divine unfolding. And we can only do that if we're operating from the signals that God is sending to us, that love is providing for us, that nature reveals to us. As a result, the frequency is the signal, and that's the path forward. Return to the frequency. It provides the signal that will let you know whether or not it is time to sit or move. That frequency will let you know. You ain't got to worry about it missing something. It don't miss a thing. It cannot. That's because it includes all things. It has already calibrated everything for you. That's why I always draw it as a circle. Behold, eternity. No beginning, no ending. It's the reason that we say God is love. No beginning, no ending.